possible for life to exist on other planets. Alright, so, cross your T's. You may add more when you're talking with your groups, but look around you. Talk with about 3 people next to you and discuss your ideas. Share what you wanted to share. Go.
There is a really big possibility. I know for a fact that there are like people, maybe they don't look like us, but their technologies and way more advanced than us, and we're so stupid compared to them.
Okay.
No, really, I know it.
You know it.
I know it.
You know it.
I know it.
So you think that there's other people, maybe they're not people, in another galaxy who are advanced than us. Why do you say advanced? Like, why do you say advanced? Why not behind?
Because I think that, I don't know, stories gotta come from somewhere. Like,
Stories like that,
you know, like UFOs and all that stuff, they have to come, they visited us without us knowing sometimes.
Apparently, I'm just gonna say, like, the whole entire idea of there being, like, the whole entire idea of Martians, believe it or not, it came from actual 2 sources.
Okay.
One was the book War of the Worlds, I think.
World of Worlds?
Yeah, War of the Worlds.
Okay.
What are the odds that only one planet was made to have an atmosphere with oxygen and a sun close enough to support life and water?
Okay. So the universe is just too vast to only have us as being sustaining life. Okay. What if I told you that there isn't any?
Then you'd be wrong, and I wouldn't listen to you. Which classes is it?
Then I think
You're wrong, then.
Now, do you have these questions at the top of your sheet, actually right below where you had it written? Let's see. When we read this article, let's keep in mind who created this message. Okay. What concrete evidence is used to support the message or its claim? So you're going to think about these things as you're reading it. Maybe you want to underline, write on side notes. I know there's space in between the lines. How did my personal experience and knowledge of this message, how did it read differently? I think I messed that one. Who might benefit from this message? Who might be harmed? Why is this message being sent? Why are they talking about it? Why is it important? Why is it relevant? Is it important? Maybe it's not to you. So think of those questions as you're reading through this article. When you read it the first time through, I want you to act as though you believe, okay? Believe that it is true. And then we're going to talk about it. Then I'm going to ask you to read through it again and highlight the things that make you doubt the claim. You understand? So right now I want you to read and then jot down, you have a chart there. And you're going to write down, what about this provides evidence that it is true, that makes you believe that life does exist. Okay, so you can do that now. So, real quick, just share some ideas amongst each other. No yawning, don't even Shane, turn and talk to Anthony.
The question being what concrete evidence is used to support the message. When they said that they found a microbe at the bottom of one of the Earth's lakes, in a poisonous environment, that leads you to believe that if that environment exists on another planet, then something can live there.
Okay.
And
so the evidence from this article is saying that there's actually life in hazardous places, and if it's a hazardous environment on another planet, life could actually live in that type of environment. Good essay, the intro of the idea, and how it's been discussed it's been in contemplation over a long time. A paragraph about why you believe, and what about this article makes you believe, and then another paragraph of what about this article makes you doubt, and then your conclusions, your own feelings, okay? That would be your essay. But maybe we could share some ideas of what about this article makes you doubt that there's life on it. I know that you're so convinced in yourself, but I'm asking you to look at this article, just this article. Don't take everything else that you think of. Look at that article. Kira?
They didn't use any direct quotes from NASA to confirm the claims that were made, and also most of the references that they did make were claims, like, for example,
So you might be writing this stuff down to help you write that part of your essay?
a research paper in the journal Icarus claimed that hydrogen, but it's not found. So it's one of those.
So it's just a claim, it's not.
It's not fact.
It's not
It
presented.
wasn't proven.
Okay.
It says the probe that NASA sent out to check the surface type, it didn't find any gas in there to prove that there was life. that could.
which would prove that there was life, but there wasn't any gas, so just suggest to you.
That doesn't prove that there's no life.
Okay. It doesn't prove that there's no life. Okay.
So I try and keep an open mind. So
Okay.
even though I find doubts, there are things that make me believe, but I'm not going to go either way because there really isn't concrete evidence. It's just theory at this point.
Okay. This is the article I gave them. Period. On the back of her, this is what she wrote. On the back of that article is the graphic organizer or just guiding questions I had them. It's like facilitate, just questions in class.
The essay assignment was what specifically?
Just basically
That,
what
their
they found.
opinion using.
They find what they found in that. Use the article for information and support two sides of the debate. Basically, what is
Okay, so they were supposed to put both sides in the essay.
yes,
Okay.
a belief
That's
paragraph
what's-
and a doubt paragraph.
Okay.
So the purpose was for them to just see both sides of the situation rather than just picking one side,
Okay.
because they were so hell bent that there is most
Mhm.
of them. I mean, they were having such a tough time putting those goggles of doubting on. So they were forced to do that. They have no astronomy, they haven't been taught astronomy yet, but they're doing it now. That's what I wanted you guys to know.
Okay.
So it was like an assessment type of, for me to know, see what they know through discussion, yes.
I know. I'm glad I asked the question because I think I was thinking, well, where's her opinion? You know,
Yeah,
because I'm so
I am too-
focused
I
on
was too.
opinion right now. But
Yeah, no.
I forgot that was
Believe in
the
doubt of the
believe in
article,
doubt.
really was specific to the article. They didn't have any other resource whatsoever, it's
Right.
just specific to the article.
Okay.
How to critically analyze a piece of evidence. Do you want to know the makeup of the class? Very higher level compared to all my other classes. Very higher level class. And then there's low. There's like a handful of very low. But then the others are like, they need to be in honors.
Yeah, well, she's a 9th grader, so she's in earth science. She is in honors.
Right, exactly.
I really like the fact that in the second to last paragraph she talks about how the text contains words may, might, possibility, suggesting. So she's identifying that, there is room. Exactly. But I like how she used those words.
The introduction was very good.
Yeah.
She had a few supporting facts, and she did imply that there's two sides to the story. She said it herself, people believe both sides of this argument. And then her second paragraph, she gives clear supporting evidence. And then the next paragraph is excellent because it gives the other side of the story, like Janina said, may, might, possibility, and suggested. And her conclusion is excellent because she specifically states her opinion, but she injects some fact there as well.
Yeah, I think that outline's great. You can definitely tell that the introduction is showing that there's two sides. Here's one side, here's the other side, and here's my side. I liked that flow of it.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm just thinking about it because, I mean, with the one I did, and just in general, getting kids to kind of to understand the counter argument is always the struggle. But I think I like the way that she did it. All right, as belief and doubt. I think that would be a good strategy to use, like even for me going forward, to get them to see the two sides. Because when we talk about it, when I talk to kids in class, they can do it that way. But then in a writing piece, it was something I wrote as an area I've struggled with on mine. So I like the idea of organizing it ahead of time as, okay, well, here's all the ones, for belief, here's all the ones for doubt, right? I think kids, they understand those terms better than argument and counter-argument.
And I like the kind of keeping the A to E in mind, those questions. I think it just definitely probably helped them to think and figure out where this was going to go.
You got that from the believe and doubt.
Yeah.
Not that awesome.
I think it takes. I think
This was a good assignment.
when you have the questions like that and the believe in doubt, it destroys the idea that what's printed in a book or online is the gospel fact, and all you're going to do for an essay is regurgitate what's already there, just paraphrase without voice. You generate a lot of energy in that room, but there were a lot of kids right away raising a hand, or they couldn't wait to share because they had so much to talk about.
I always find it so interesting that high school students are more than willing to share their opinions in class discussion. And then when you get to this, normally everything they kind of told you in class tends to disappear.
It's kind of peer motivated,
Or it's very like in the moment.
Yeah.
And then we shut that door, let's move on.
Nicole, do you want to comment?
No, I like that idea. Definitely bring it. It kind of introduces the topic, gets them fired up about it, and they want to know more. And it kind of sets up the stage for them wanting to read more stuff about this.
Was our response a surprise to you? To the art? Just to the essay that, that it was as strong as it was? Or?
Yeah, because I don't think of myself as a strong writer. So personally, I don't think of myself as a strong writer and organizer. Not that I wrote this article, but I helped them. I presented it the way I wanted it, and I wasn't sure. I kind of questioned myself if that was the best way to approach this.
So if you feel like explorers in all of your classrooms, like you can't predict what the final paper is going to look like, but at least the setup seems to be positive. Let's look into this.
It's a sense of wonder. This article, it really is. It sparks.
Yeah, definitely.
Come together as a group and maybe talk about what this experience of going into a study group and looking at our work. What did you feel for your own work was beneficial for that, or what ways would you change the process, in order to learn more?
I learned how to simplify the process from Jovina and others, because finding evidence we've clearly seen is not so easy to back it up. But Jovina does something which is your opinion versus evidence. She makes a T-chart instead. So she has opinion on one side, and then after opinion you have to support it with evidence. And then Nicolette
Over here.
has believe versus doubt chart, which I like too, because that makes things a little more simplified. Because I was using the 4A approach, aspire, argue, agree. This is a lot more simplified, easier for the level.
I liked the process. I liked, the feedback, especially from people I don't really get to talk to, but we share. I'm at the lower end of grade level, so it's nice. A lot of the student work or students that I know that I've had, so to see where everything progresses was nice.
That because we don't have time to talk to each other about the assignments that we give and the work that the students produce, and so it's nice to be able to see it from different perspectives, and definitely across grade levels and subject areas too.
It was good to see the types of writing, also different grade levels from 5th grade to 7th grade or to high school, and see what he was giving as an article versus mine, to compare basically her reading and how the reading is progressing over the grade levels, which is good to share what you're doing, which, like she said, pretty much.
I think the thing that stuck out to me from our group was this notion of how many people are using physical location of students to move them into an argument or out, to really having them literally position themselves. And then a number of times it came up in our group how important it was to use talk, because argument is so much about perspective, so that actually exploiting the nature of talk and having someone voice their opinion so everybody hears it. I think Nicole, you were pointing that out, that everyone hears it. And the work, I was really impressed by the work that you got, the content knowledge, and then the structure. Students were understanding exactly what was being asked of them, and they were doing it, and it was exciting.
Well, it was also interesting too that we started from the last session with 2 specific strategies that everybody took and found a way to make it work for themselves. So if you went into each class, you could see evidence of using those strategies, but they were used in ways that seemed authentic and worthwhile for your students. And I think it's also, you see it in the writing, because I think, as you said, it wasn't just handing an assignment, but helping them set up the assignment and think about it before they had to do the writing. Because it's still, this is the most difficult kind of writing to do.